YouTube world, what is up? Today I am back with another new inventory showcase video for all of you, specifically all of you waiting for Land Cruisers, because that's what we got today. I am Chris, if you don't know, your host as always, and today I have a nice little 2015 200 series Land Cruiser to show off. And this is a nice car. I've spent some time in this car. I put about 350 miles on this car after I bought it. Really nice car. This is a 2015. It has just over 111,000 miles on it. Carfax is showing this as a 4-owner car. However, I believe it to be a 3-owner car, being familiar with how to read Carfax's titles, etc. But nonetheless, Carfax is showing it a 4-owner car. Really good service history. I just had some service work done that we'll go over here in a minute on the car. And, excuse me, I'm excited to show this thing off because it's exceptionally clean and has been really well cared for. And I think that will show in this video. So let's spin this thing around and we'll see what we got here. So again, 2015 200 series Land Cruiser. Overall, really nice car. Drives really good. Has some neat features on it that others might not. And as always, we're going to start out with our monitors to show that this car will pass emissions. And we'll kind of go over the rest of the car outside and do our interior and driving video. So without further ado, let's get it going. Let me hook my old trusty scanner up to this thing. And let's see what we got. Turn the radio down so YouTube does not hit me. For those of you who don't know, YouTube will copyright your videos if there's any kind of music or anything going on the radio. So rest assured, the radio does work, but you will not hear any sound. You might hear some static. So all right, so there we are, 227,000 miles. No other lights or anything on the dash. And here are our monitors. So you can see we have one monitor showing EVAP that is red and it is flashing. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with this car. And as you see, it does show no powertrain DTCs or freeze frame data is presently stored in the vehicle's computer. So let me spin this around so you can be talking. So when I picked this thing up from detail, today is Wednesday, January 31st. When I picked this up from detail Monday the 29th, it was making a god-awful noise. I knew right away it was either the belt or the belt tensioner. So I drove it back to my shop thinking that if it was something on the belt, something they spray in the engine, degreaser, some of the stuff that they spray under there to make everything look nice and shiny. Sometimes that stuff will get on belts and it'll squeak and you got to kind of drive it off, burn it off, however you want to describe it, to get that to go away. Did not go away, and when I got back to my shop, it started having a very mechanical sound to it, so I immediately knew that it was the tensioner. I tell you all of this, number one, it does have a brand new belt tensioner on it and a brand new serpentine belt. $500 later, but that's a story for a different day. But what they did do is they disconnect the battery when they replace the tensioner in the belt. And anytime you replace the battery, disconnect the battery, it's going to reset all those monitors. So that EVAP monitor that is flashing red has just not gone back through a drive cycle to where it can reset itself. So let's say that, for instance, this car did have a check engine light on, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to reset the light and try to sell it like that. You would see, let me spin this around. You would see here where it shows no powertrain DTCs or frame phase data is presently stored. You would see pending codes. You wouldn't have a check engine light on, but you would see pending codes. And what pending means is that when the vehicle goes through that drive cycle, once it gets through there, that light's going to come back on. So again, the fact that we have no stored data and you just have the one monitor that has not cycled itself through a drive cycle, there's nothing to worry about here. This car will pass emissions right now. But just wanted to clearly explain why that monitor has not gone through that cycle yet. So a little more driving. The Toyota dealership's only about 12 to 14 miles from my shop, so that's not enough time to go through a drive cycle. So that's what's going on there. But as always, let's get this thing outside and let's see what we got. All right, so here we are. We're out front, and let's start under the hood here. Obviously it's popped. Everything sounds really nice under here, as it should. Nice and quiet. And it is exceptionally clean under here. Look at the apron down there. I mean, all these bolts, all of, you know, these mounts right here for the power steering fluid, all of this stuff right here, these holes are exposed. Look how nice all that is. Can't really see back here, but same thing going on back here. All of this stuff will corrode in rusty areas. Everything looks really nice. This car's been in Texas and Louisiana since new, so we don't have anything to worry about there. We do have a very recent battery that has been put in this thing. Hood pads all in good shape. Factory stickers. We do have remote start on this car, factory. We'll go over that here shortly. All right, so we will start on this front bumper. The bumper's in great shape. At some point this was painted. I did not do it, but it looks great. And I will do my best to show that off. You can see the cars in the reflection in the background. Whoever did do this did a really good job, and it looks really nice. It's not heavy on texture or anything like that. There is just minor rock chips as always. I've had my guy touch it up, so all that is looking good. Spin around this way. And it's all very light. There's maybe a shot of it where you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Do have some minor, like what I would call right here, stand back. The clear itself just has kind of a crack. It's not, the bumper's not cracked, it's just the clear itself. But very minor. You know, in sitting back even right here, you're not gonna see it or notice it. Just normal wear and tear up here. Headlights in great shape. No fading going on up here, no cracking, no none of that. It is common on these. There's our Land Cruiser insignia, which is cool on these. Look how nice our radar looks for the cruise control. This will fade out on many, many, many LXs and Land Cruisers. This looks like it's in great shape. Same thing with our front-facing camera. Everything looks really nice there. The grill's in great shape. We don't have any fading going on the gray parts, which is common. Headlight over here is in great shape as well, just like the passenger side. No fading, no cracking, no nothing going on there. Everything looks really nice. So our fenders and our hood do have the Toyota PPF sitting on it. So there is some minor, like, you know, rock chips that have hit it. None of it has broken it. Maybe that one spot, but that's literally the only spot on the PPF that has been broken. And really the front of this hood is in really nice shape. It's, you know, the PPF has done its job over time. It's just a finger mark. Same thing there. So as you see, it comes up to about right here on the hood, and then the rest of the hood is in really nice shape. Not really anything to talk about. There is one minor little environmental spot right there, but that should give you an idea for reference, or for perspective, I should say. Rest of the hood is in great shape though, outside of that. Great shot of the side of the car. Again, this car is exceptionally clean. When I got it, when I bought it, I had thought it had already been detailed. In fact, it had not, but just whoever owned it had kept this thing polished and waxed, and it was very obvious. It's not typical to see on most daily drivers, but this car was an exception to that rule. Really nice condition. As we all know, black is really hard to keep clean, and you know, I don't know if this video is going to do it justice, but this car is exceptionally clean. So you've got something good to start with, so if you can maintain it over time, it might not be that hard to maintain. All right, so left front wheel, everything looks perfect here. Nothing to cry home about. Do have a, I'd say 50% life left set of Michelin Defender LTXs, which is what you want if you're not going to have a off-road setup. So, I mean, easily 50%. It's probably what my car looks like as well. All right, so let's move along here, and I'll try to point out anything. There was not a lot going on the side of this car. Do have a few little minor spots here on the door, but I mean, look at the reflection in this door. Look how nice the side of this car looks. Anytime you have any kind of paint work, body work, clear, you know, that's not been done properly, this would be a great shot where you're going to see it. And look how nice everything looks. We might need to call the previous owner and ask them how they maintained it so well. Do have your factory Toyo guard going all the way down the door. It actually all looks like it's in really nice shape. Sometimes they get eaten up and chewed up. That looks really good. Do have a few little touch-up spots. You got one here, two here right above the door guard, plastic right here that protects the edge. Left rear wheel, just like the left front, great shape, no curbing, no nothing. Our Michelin's back here, just like the front. As far as condition. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Look how nice all this looks. Our rails look great. These rails up here will oftentimes get dented up, and dent guys will either miss the dents or sometimes they can't get them out because it can be kind of tricky. Everything looks really nice up there. Here's our mirror. Again, Toyo guard plastic all the way around, so it's been protected. I don't really see anything going on, maybe other than that one little spot right there. Front of our roof, this will be a great shot where if there was any dents or damage or anything, you would see it right here as I move my phone up and down. Looks really nice up here. Crossbars intact, no damage on the roof. Everything looks really nice there. Look how nice our belt moldings look. These will fade and deteriorate over time. For those of you that don't know, belt moldings are in great shape. Don't have anything to worry about there. I mean, that's really all I can point out on the side of this car. I mean, it is in Again, really nice shape. So I did have the rear bumper painted. There was, right in this area, there was some scuffing and a minor, you know, obviously the bumper's plastic, but there was a wrinkle, like a small little wrinkle, maybe that big, right there on the body line. So I went ahead and had all that fixed. Everything looks really nice. As you see, our gaps all look great. My guy does take bumpers off to do that. So you want to make sure that you have somebody that knows what they're doing so that it goes back on correctly. Here's a great shot to show that everything fits nice and looks great. Same thing over here. Everything looks great. Bottom of our lift gate is in excellent condition. There's no damage, no dents, nothing like that going on. So the worst part about this car, spot, whatever you want to call it, let me try to get it in view here. You can see right here, there are two little lines. Those are two scrape marks. And then you do have some minor, let's see if I can get this here. So right along here, sorry I'm fighting lighting, you do have a very minor crack. I'd say it's probably 6 inches long. It's not anything major. Let's see if I can, I'll get that in a minute. I'll try to get it in the sun so we can better see that, because you can't really see it. So we will pause on that and come right back to it. Everything looks really nice in our jam right here. These can get chewed up just from people pulling stuff in and out, especially up here on the edge. Everything looks great. Look how nice everything looks under here. We're checking to see when I'm looking for paint work. We're looking to see if any of these painted bolts have been turned. They have not, so that's a great sign, obviously. Same thing over here. All of our seam seal on all of our edges and whatnot, all of that is factory and looks really nice. Same thing over here. Jams look great. Factory spot welds are intact. Everything looks great. So there's our carpet on the lower part of the gate. Everything is in really nice shape. The interior on these tan color cars, or the tan interior cars I should say, is very light and will stain easily. And we're not showing, I should say, any of that with this car. There's our toolkit. Everything is intact. We do have some minor little scuffing going on here on the plastic. You have some going on right over here. And on this side as well, but very, very minor. We do have our jack intact. And the first aid kit, somebody kept that for a memento. They didn't want to put it back in there for whatever reason. Back of our third row seats look new, literally. So you can see the third row middle seat has a headrest that is stored here. However, it is missing on this car, and I can't find one. So it is going to be sold without the middle row, third row headrest. The other two headrests are intact, obviously, just not the third row. All right, so let's fold these bad boys down. And open this back up. Do have a factory Toyota cargo mat that is in great shape. carpet underneath. Looking good. Let's see if I can get this back in there. Alrighty. So look at the back of the middle row seats. These are areas that tend to get gouged up. If you guys watch my videos, for those of you who do, you know these sections over here, they tend to get dented up. These look in great shape. Really nice. Bottom of our third row seats, not scuffed up, scratched up like a lot of them do get over time. We are missing one of our covers that covers this if you're not going to use third row seats. Not a big deal. Coming back down, obviously our seat belts look really nice, super clean. All the cargo paneling, look how nice all that looks. It's not scratched up and scuffed up. Let's hit this side. Same thing with our seat belt over here. Again, looking really good here. Let's pull these seats back up so I can show you guys the seats themselves from the other side. And headliner in this cargo area all looks really nice. There's our middle row seat belt. Do have your normal little indentations from the seat belts, from the seats being folded down. But boy, outside of that, they look like most of them do, and they have never been sat in. Headliner looks great back here. Again, look how nice the back of this seat is. This interior is exceptionally clean. Top 5% as far as wear and tear and just overall condition. All right, so moving on, let's finish this outside. Again, look at the reflection in this car. Look how, it's almost perfect. It's crazy how nice this car is. Again, whoever owned this car last or throughout the ownership, they knew how to care for a black car and they did a good job at it. There's just not a lot to talk about on the outside of this car. Rail looks great. Again, showing off our belt moldings here. Look how nice they are. A lot of times they'll start to crack in between right here in hot climates. And this car has been in a hot climate, Texas and Louisiana, but just in good shape. All right, so our right rear wheel looking great. Right rear tire. We go ahead and hit the front so I don't forget. Looking just like the rest. No curbing, no scratching, none of that going on. Alright, so there's a little imperfection right here. Again, at some point, somebody did something right there. But just in that one little area. Do have a little touch up right here. Do have obviously our plastic that runs down the door edges. Little spot right here. Little spot right here. That's really it. That's all I see. I mean, it is, I know I've said it about 50 times in this video, but this is a nice car, condition-wise. Do have our plastic on the mirror. It's done its job. Pillar looks really nice. Coming up to the rail again. We'll look at the top of the roof from this side. It's really nice. Let's hit the undercarriage real quick. CV axle looks great. Power steering rack looks awesome. We don't have any rust up here. This is exactly how you want to buy one, no matter what you want to do with it. Same thing, CV axle. And where's our rack boot? There it is, looking great. And no rust or anything to talk about. KDSS valves. And lastly, looks great back here. Brand new spare, never been down. What you're seeing there is stuff that they spray on the fender wells at detail. So yeah. Looks really nice. All right. Door panel is in, I'm telling you, no exaggeration. The inside of this car is really, really, really nice. Look how nice the edges of our panels are. We don't have any damage. We don't have any scratching or peeling going on the silver trim on these pulls. Does have some light, probably 25-30% window tint on the front windows. Here's our jamb. Look how nice. So, you know, this stuff right here, when it is scuffed up, dirty, people with rough shoes, whatever the case may be, this stuff is hard to get clean. Once you get it gouged up and dirt in it and whatnot, and look how nice all of that is. Look at the carpet right there. Side of our seat. I mean, look at that seat. It literally looks like it has never been sat in. Super nice. Side of our console. You don't have a bunch of seatbelt marks back and forth. No scuffing, scratching, anything on the glove box. Carpet up here looks literally brand new. It's a new set of Toyota, obviously, all-weather mats. Get the carpet underneath there. This thing is finished off really nice. So we do have a full set of books in here, as you see. You have some paint sealant from Toyota. You have your trailer brake harness from Toyota. And then we do have some paper service history, which is awesome. You don't typically get that. I'm not going to go through that right now just for time, but that will be with the car, obviously. Dash is in great shape. Registers all work right here as they should. Just a nice clean car. As the old timers would say, a nice honest car. Look how nice that. Look at the sticker, not peeling, nothing's going on there. Armrest is in great shape. Top of the door panel. Again, coming back to our trimmed out pulls. Look at that. I mean, hopefully this video does this justice. Hopefully. Wow. The carpet underneath here, bottom of your right rear seat, all looks really nice. So I'll try to pull this armrest down. Sorry for the bad camera work. Sorry, try this again. Cup holder, as it should. Works as it should, I should say. Back of our console, all of our buttons are intact. We got our 12-volt door intact. These do push in as they should. And we do have a normal operating rear climate control. Registers move as they should. Rear DVD works as it should. I don't have a DVD to put in that. I probably need to get one to start doing that on these videos, but nonetheless, I don't have one right now. Everything looks so clean in this car. Again, the tan interior stuff can be hard to keep clean with the black exterior. Look how nice the seat belts all are. Seat belts you can almost never get clean. Such a nice car. Driver's pull is in great shape. It's no different over here. Driver's side, this car's been driven 111,000 miles. Look how nice it is. Had to be a woman that drove this car, or a really light man. Side of our console is perfect almost. I mean, one thing I forgot to do on the passenger side, seat does go forward. Does come back, does recline, and it does come back up. Let me hit that passenger side that I forgot. Does come forward, does go back, does recline, and it does come back up. So there we go there. Alright, so let's hop in this thing and show off the inside again. Look at the console. I mean, it's damn near perfect. So, in the top part, we do have our DVD remote. Those are expensive, so it's nice to have that. Do have our cool box here. That is my scanner that's in there. Let's see if you can hear that. Blowing nice cold air, as it should. But look how nice this wood is here. We don't have any lifting going on. Same thing with our cup holder lid. Works as it should. Really good shape. Look how nice all of our trim is through here. Same thing with this trim over here. Shift knob looks great. Whew, it is hot in here. Never been used. All of our plastic silver trim right here, both sides, is in great shape. That's another wear spot that tends to get hit. All of our trim right through here, the black piano wood looking trim looks awesome. So we will kind of play around with the climate control to show that it all works. Let's bump the air down. There we go. It feels much better.
That approach of, we want whatever the name is to get you to consume.
So again, the radio does work. Again, I drove this car for 4 or 5 days and put almost 300 miles, maybe a little more than that, on the car. Rest assured it does work. I just don't want to get copyrighted. We do toggle through all our screens as we should. There's our nav. Backup camera. Looking good. And front facing camera. There's your sides. Rear sides. And coming back to the front and the right side. So everything looks good there. As you see, that is my phone that's hooked up to the car, because obviously, as I said, I did drive it. But even down here, look how nice the knee pad is. And there's no scratching, no scrapes, nothing going on down there. Let me shut this sunroof. It is tilted up. So we'll tilt it down and we will open it. And close it. All right, so steering wheel does come up, does come back down, it does come out to me, and it does go back in. So all that works as it should. Let's look at this steering wheel, and it is a good looking steering wheel. You know, common areas to peel and scrape and scratch are all these plastic buttons and this trim. All of that on both sides looks really nice. Same thing with the rest of the wheel. We don't have any cracking or indentions or anything going on any of the wood. All the leather looks to be in really nice shape. Horn works. No lights. There's our mileage. So our mirrors, you can see our mirrors are out. I'm going to fold them in. Driver's side's folded in. We're going to come back out. And there you go. Now we will move the mirrors out, down, up, and back in. Same thing on the right side, out, down, in, up. So everything works as it should there. Heated steering wheel does work. I have tested that out, and it gets hot as you know what. This is our park assist, front and rear. Center locking diff. Rear side curtain airbags, if you have a bunch of kids. So our traction control off, and our headlight washers, which is probably the dumbest thing that you could ever put outside of a tire pressure monitor on a car. In my opinion, I should say. All right, so let me put my seatbelt on. We're gonna engage for low and take it for a spin. So as you see, we are just in 4 high right now. Bumper into neutral, twister into low, and there you go. We are in 4 low. You get your automatic camera angle from the front that you want to see, I guess, when you're in the mud and sand. So our multi-terrain select, we can toggle through all those different features as you see I'm doing. I'm not going to go into each one, but we do know that that works, and we do know the 4 low engages and the actuator is not frozen. So we'll come back out of 4 low, and there we go. We are back in 4 high. All is well there. That is very important to make sure that these cars engage 4 low. Most people do not do that, but I think Toyota recommends to do it, I don't know, it's not a lot of time, I should say. I don't know the exact time, so I should probably shut up and not sound stupid. But I do know that it's maybe every oil change they want to do it. Let's see if I can squeeze out here. And here we go. So I like to drive these cars to show that there's no abnormal noises, no steering wheel shaking, no lights, no nothing to worry about. And again, I've spent some time in this car, so I know it drives fantastic. Recently, before I bought it, there was a bunch of brake work done, front and rear rotors and pads, from what I remember. That can be seen on the Carfax. Sounds great. No abnormal noises. Michelin's feel fantastic. No wheel bearing noise. 80 miles an hour. Tracking true. Look at the steering wheel. We're going to come on the brakes. We're going to be looking for some steering wheel shake, and there is absolutely zero as I get on the brakes. When they go, I go. Is that the smart thing to do? Yes. Hard on the brakes again. Everything feels great. This is a genuine, straight up nice car right here. Inside out condition. service history, everything about it. There's really not much to say about it. And I still have a 40-minute video, even after all that. One thing I want to do before I pull inside is show off this spoiler where it's in the sun, and there's a good shot of it. So you can see how it runs along the edge of the spoiler itself. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's just it's there. I want to make everybody aware of that. None of it's missing or anything like that. If it were me, I wouldn't be doing anything to it. Clearly, I didn't do anything to it. And so, yeah, let's do two other things. We're going to show off the factory remote start, and we are going to show off the door lock actuators to show that they do work as they should. Let me make sure I don't hit anything here. So our park assist in the front. Alright, where am I going to put this? Over here. Here we go. Alright, so for the remote start, on your factory key fob, you're going to hit the lock button 3 times, and on the 3rd time, you're going to hold it. It will beep once, and then it'll start. So the factory remote start works as it should. We're going to turn it off by pressing and holding the lock button. And the door lock actuators. So the only way to really test this on a keyless entry car is to hit the lock button. If you get a lock feedback noise, then you know all the actuators are good. If you don't, if you just get flashes with no noise, then you have a bad actuator somewhere. So we're just listening for feedback, and we do have that. So all of our door lock actuators are good here. So that does it for this one, guys. Again, 2015 200 series Land Cruiser, just over 111,000 miles. Really good service history. It's been in Texas and Louisiana since new, 100% rust free. And just had an oil change done on it. Tire rotation, belt tensioner, and serpentine belt just got done. So, so that's always nice. And this thing should be hitting the market here in the next day or two. So as always, if anybody has any questions or wants to reach out, feel free, 678-454-6060, or you can reach me at chris@hilsonluxury.com, and we will talk to one of you guys soon.